In a vast galaxy filled with strange creatures and advanced technology, the Galactic Council ruled with an iron fist. This powerful group was made up of various alien species, each stronger and bigger than humans. The council met in their grand chamber where a giant screen displayed Earth. The alien leaders laughed at the tiny blue planet, thinking it was an easy target. "Look at them," sneered Zarak, the leader of the Targonians, a race known for their massive size and strength. "They are so small and weak. How can they defend themselves? We could crush them with a single foot." The other council members joined in the laughter, nodding their heads in agreement. They believed that humans were nothing but insects, unworthy of respect. They discussed their plan to invade Earth, thinking it would be an easy victory. Their arrogance blinded them to the truth that lay hidden beneath the surface of the tiny planet. On Earth, however, a different story was unfolding. A group of human leaders gathered in a secret bunker, far away from the alien eyes. They were worried but determined. They knew about the Council's plans and understood the danger that loomed over their world. "Listen, everyone," said Commander Elena. "A strong and wise leader. The aliens think we are weak. They believe they can take our home without a fight. But we have a secret weapon they don't know about." She pressed a button on a control panel, and a hidden door slid open, revealing a vast fleet of spaceships. Each ship gleamed under the lights, ready for battle. These were not ordinary ships. They were advanced and powerful, built over decades to protect Earth from threats. The human leaders gasped in awe. They had worked in secret to create this fleet, hiding it from the aliens and even from some of their own people. Now it was time to unleash their hidden power. "Today we show the galaxy that humans are not to be underestimated," Elena declared, her voice filled with determination. "We will fight for our home, and we will show those aliens what we are made of." As the leaders discussed their plans, excitement filled the room. They knew that training would be crucial. The humans began preparing their crews, teaching them how to operate the ships and work together. They trained day and night, practicing maneuvers and strategies, knowing that they would need every ounce of strength and skill to face the invading alien forces. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council continued to make their plans, unaware of the storm brewing on Earth. They underestimated humanity's spirit and resilience. "Prepare the fleet for the invasion," Zarak ordered, confidence radiating from his massive frame. "We will take Earth and show these small creatures who truly rules the galaxy." As the alien ships set off towards Earth, they believed that victory was certain. But on Earth, a new energy was growing. Humans were ready to fight back. They were determined to prove that size does not determine strength. The day of the invasion arrived. The alien ships loomed large in the sky, casting shadows over cities and towns. People looked up in fear, not knowing what was coming. But deep within the hidden fleet, the humans were ready. Commander Elena stood on the bridge of her flagship, looking at her crew. "Remember, we are fighting for our home and for each other. Do not let their size intimidate you. We may be small, but we are mighty." As the alien ships descended towards Earth, the humans launched their fleet into the sky. Bright lights lit up the darkened sky as the ships soared forward, their engines roaring. This was it, the moment of truth. The humans were no longer the small creatures the aliens had mocked. They were ready to show the galaxy their strength and prove that they would fight to the last breath for their world. As the battle began, the aliens would soon learn a valuable lesson. Never underestimate the power of those who have everything to lose. The stage was set for an epic showdown between two very different forces in the galaxy, one that would change the fate of Earth forever. As the alien ships filled the sky, humans prepared for battle in their secret fleet. Inside the command center of the flagship, Commander Elena stood tall and resolute. Her heart raced not with fear but with determination. The time had come to unleash the power of humanity's hidden fleet. "Listen up, everyone," Elena called to her crew, her voice echoing through the room. "Today we show the galaxy what we are made of. The aliens think we are weak, but we will prove them wrong. We are going to fight for our planet!" The crew nodded, their faces set with determination. Each member had trained hard, and now it was time to put their skills to the test. They understood the stakes. If they lost, Earth could fall into the hands of the Galactic Council. Elena turned to her second-in-command, Captain Jake. "Prepare the fleet for launch. We need to move quickly before the aliens land their troops." Jake nodded and quickly moved to the control panel. He pressed buttons and the massive doors of the hidden hangar opened, revealing a fleet of ships that sparkled under the sun. Each ship was unique, designed for speed and agility. Some were small and nimble, perfect for quick strikes, while others were larger and heavily armed, ready for a tough fight. As the fleet took off into the sky, Elena felt a surge of pride. She looked around at her crew, seeing their faces filled with excitement and focus. "Stay sharp, everyone. We need to coordinate our movements and strike when the time is right." Outside, the alien ships had begun to descend toward cities, ready to unleash chaos. The humans knew they had to act fast. They moved into position, each ship forming a part of a larger plan. "Now!" Elena shouted, and the fleet surged forward. Bright beams of light shot from their ships, illuminating the sky as they approached the alien armada. Meanwhile, on the alien command ship, Zarek and his crew watched the humans approach. "What is this?" Zarek growled, his eyes wide with disbelief. They dare to fight back? The aliens had not expected such a bold move from humans. Their arrogance clouded their judgment, and they assumed that the small creatures below would not dare to challenge them. Back in the human fleet, the first shots were fired. Missiles flew through the air, striking the alien ships and causing explosions. The humans maneuvered with precision, dodging incoming fire and retaliating with all their might. "Stay together!" Elena commanded, guiding her fleet through the chaos. They were outnumbered, but they fought with heart. Each successful strike fueled their determination. As the battle raged on, the humans began to realize that their training was paying off. They communicated well, using hand signals and quick commands to coordinate their attacks. Their small but powerful ships darted around the larger alien vessels, striking at weak points and avoiding direct hits. "Focus fire on that ship!" Jake shouted, pointing to a massive alien cruiser that loomed above them. The crew worked together, firing their weapons as one. The alien ship shook under the onslaught, and for the first time, the aliens felt the sting of human resistance. As the humans pressed on, more alien ships fell from the sky, crashing down in brilliant flames. The tide of battle began to shift. The Galactic Council had underestimated humanity, and now they were facing the consequences. "Keep pushing!" Elena encouraged her crew, feeling the thrill of battle. They were no longer the small, weak beings the aliens had scoffed at. They were warriors, fighting for their home, and they were winning. But the battle was far from over. More alien reinforcements were on their way, and the humans had to prepare for an even tougher fight. They could not let their guard down even for a moment. Elena glanced at the chaos unfolding in the sky and felt a mix of fear and hope. They were standing up against the odds, fighting not just for their lives, but for the future of Earth. The hidden fleet had come alive, and with it, humanity's spirit soared. With every explosion and every victory, the humans were proving that they were anything but weak. They were small, yes, but they were also mighty, and they would fight until their last breath to protect their planet. The battle for Earth had just begun, and the humans were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The sky above Earth was filled with chaos. Alien ships zoomed in and out, firing powerful beams of energy at the humans' hidden fleet. Commander Elena stood on the bridge of her flagship, her heart racing as she watched the battle unfold. This was the moment they had prepared for, and now it was time to show the Galactic Council that humanity was ready to fight back. "Everyone listen," Elena shouted, her voice steady despite the turmoil around her. "This is our first clash with the alien forces. We need to stay focused and work together. Remember our training. We can win this!" Her crew nodded, determination shining in their eyes. They had trained for this moment, and they would not let fear stop them. The humans knew they were outnumbered, but their ships were fast and agile. They had a plan, and they were ready to execute it. "Jake, take us into the fray," Elena commanded, pointing towards a cluster of alien ships that loomed ahead. Jake gripped the controls tightly and steered the ship toward the enemy. As they approached the aliens, beams of energy zipped past them, illuminating the dark sky. The crew focused on their tasks, manning the weapons and tracking the enemy ships. The adrenaline surged as the first clash began. "Fire at will!" Jake shouted, pressing the button to launch their first missiles. The missiles shot out with a powerful roar, striking the nearest alien ship. It exploded in a brilliant flash, and cheers erupted on the bridge. "Good job." "Keep it up!" Elena encouraged, feeling hope swell within her. But the battle was far from over. The remaining alien ships quickly retaliated, firing their beams at the humans. Suddenly, an alarm blared. "We have incoming fire," shouted one of the crew members. Elena's heart sank as she saw a beam of energy heading straight for them. "Evasive maneuvers! Now!" she ordered. Jake turned the ship sharply, narrowly avoiding the attack. The crew held on tight as the ship spun through the air, dodging more beams. "We need to regroup!" Jake called, looking at the screen showing their fleet scattered across the sky. "If we stay divided, we'll be picked off one by one," Elena agreed. "Let's form up! Everyone, move to my position!" She guided her ship closer to the others, watching as her crew quickly followed her command. The humans knew they had to stick together to have a chance against the larger alien force. As the fleet formed up, they prepared to counterattack. "Target that cruiser!" Elena commanded, pointing at a large alien ship that was firing at a group of their smaller vessels. "We need to take it out!" The crew loaded their weapons and took aim. "Ready, and fire!" Elena shouted. The missiles shot out, flying straight toward the alien cruiser. They struck the ship with a massive explosion, causing it to shake and tilt. The alien crew inside the cruiser was in chaos. "What is happening?" Zarak yelled, his voice filled with anger and disbelief. "These tiny creatures dare to challenge us?" While the alien forces were reeling, the human ships seized the opportunity to strike again. Elena felt a surge of confidence as her crew worked together like a well-oiled machine. They moved in formation, launching coordinated attacks on the alien ships around them. "Keep the pressure on! We can't let up," she encouraged. With each successful hit, the humans grew bolder. They were no longer just defending, they were fighting back fiercely. But just as victory seemed within reach, a massive wave of reinforcements from the Galactic Council arrived, blocking the exit to space. Alien ships flooded the battlefield, and the humans found themselves surrounded.
"More of them!"
Jake exclaimed, eyes wide with shock. "We can't take them all on." "Stay calm," Elena replied, her mind racing. "We need to find a way out and regroup. We can't let them trap us." The humans quickly made a plan. "Break left! We'll use the asteroid field to hide our movements," Elena ordered. With sharp turns, they maneuvered their ships into the dense field of asteroids, dodging incoming fire. As the humans weaved through the rocks, they realized that they had not only survived the first clash, but had also dealt a blow to the invading forces. The alien ships struggled to follow them, crashing into asteroids and losing their formation. Elena breathed a sigh of relief, though the battle was far from over. They had won this round, but they knew that the Galactic Council would not back down easily. The clash had just begun, and the humans were ready to fight. They emerged from the asteroid field, determined to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With the memory of their first clash fresh in their minds, the crew felt a bond grow stronger. They were no longer just humans. They were warriors fighting for their home, ready to defend Earth against the overwhelming odds. The fight was far from over, but they were ready for whatever came next. The battle for Earth had reached its peak. Commander Elena stood on the bridge of her flagship, looking out at the chaotic scene unfolding in the vastness of space. The dark sky was filled with bright flashes of energy as alien ships clashed with the human fleet. Earth was at stake and the tension was palpable. "Status report!" Elena called out, her voice steady despite the chaos around her. The crew worked frantically at their stations, eyes glued to their screens, trying to keep track of the battle. "We've taken down several enemy ships, but they are sending more reinforcements," Jake shouted from the navigation console. "If we don't find a way to turn the tide, we could lose everything." Elena clenched her fists. "We can't let that happen. We have to protect our home." She looked around at her crew, who were determined and ready to fight. "Let's make a plan. We need to hit them hard and fast." As the humans strategized, the alien forces continued to press forward. Zarak, the alien leader, watched from his command ship, fury boiling inside him. "These humans are more difficult than I expected," he roared. "We must crush them once and for all." "Send in the assault teams!" Alien ships surged forward, deploying ground troops to attack cities across Earth. The humans watched in horror as their homes came under attack. Buildings crumbled and chaos erupted in the streets below. "We need to protect the cities," Elena shouted, her heart racing. "Prepare for a two-front battle!" Half the fleet will defend the cities, while the rest will focus on the ships in space. The crew quickly divided into two groups. Half of the fleet broke away, heading toward Earth to protect the cities from the alien assault. The remaining ships stayed in space to continue the fight against the alien armada. As the humans descended towards their cities, Elena felt a mix of fear and determination. They had to save their people. "Stay close, and let's work together to take out the enemy troops," she commanded. The battle on the ground was fierce. Human ships fired powerful lasers, targeting the alien troops and their ships as they landed. The bright beams lit up the night sky, illuminating the destruction below. "Look out!" Jake shouted as an alien ship swooped down, aiming its weapons at a nearby building. "We can't let them get any closer! Take it down!" Elena ordered. The crew worked quickly, firing missiles that soared through the air, striking the alien ship with a powerful explosion. It crashed into the ground, sending debris flying in all directions. As they fought, more and more humans joined the battle, coming together to protect their cities. Citizens grabbed makeshift weapons and worked alongside the fleet, showing bravery and determination. The spirit of humanity shone through, and their unity inspired hope. Meanwhile, the battle in space continued to rage. The remaining human ships darted around, firing at the alien forces. They had to push back the invaders before they could cause more damage on the ground. "Keep the pressure on them!" Elena shouted, watching as her crew coordinated their attacks. They targeted the larger alien ships, working together to break through their defenses. As the battle wore on, the humans began to feel the tide turning in their favor. They had successfully defended several key cities and pushed back the alien ships. But just when it seemed they might gain the upper hand, Zarak unleashed his ultimate weapon, a massive battleship that dwarfed all others. "Prepare for a direct assault," Zarak commanded. "This ship will destroy them all!" The massive battleship charged towards the human fleet, firing energy beams that lit up the dark void of space. Elena's heart sank as she saw the destruction unfold. They had to act quickly. "Jake, we need to find a way to disable that battleship," Elena shouted, her mind racing. "Gather all remaining ships and focus our fire on its weak points." The crew sprang into action, coordinating their attacks. They knew this was their chance to turn the tide once and for all. As the human ships gathered for one final assault, they felt the power of their unity. They were fighting for their homes, their families, and each other. With a fierce battle cry, Elena shouted, "For Earth!" The human fleet surged forward, unleashing a barrage of missiles at the massive alien battleship. The ships worked together, combining their firepower in a way that had never been seen before. With each successful hit, the alien battleship began to falter. Explosions erupted on its surface, and for the first time, Zarak's arrogance began to crack. "No! We cannot lose to these small creatures," he bellowed, panic rising in his voice. The humans pressed on, refusing to back down. The battle for Earth was far from over, but they had come together in a way they had never imagined. United, they would fight to the end, proving that even in the face of overwhelming odds, they were mighty. As the battle continued, a new hope emerged on the horizon, a chance for victory and the chance to reclaim their home. The fight for Earth had become a fight for survival, and the humans were ready to give everything they had. The battle for Earth raged on, but the tide had begun to turn. Commander Elena stood on the bridge of her flagship, watching as her fleet engaged the massive alien battleship. After a fierce fight, the humans had made their stand, and now they were pushing the alien forces back. "Keep firing!" Elena shouted, her voice filled with determination. "We have to finish this fight! For Earth!" Her crew worked tirelessly, coordinating their attacks and dodging enemy fire. With every successful strike, they felt a renewed sense of hope. As the alien battleship began to crumble under the relentless barrage of human missiles, Zarek's frustration boiled over. "No! This cannot be happening!" he screamed, desperately trying to rally his forces. But the humans were relentless, their resolve stronger than ever. In one final, desperate attempt, Zarek ordered a full assault on the human flagship. "All ships, focus fire on that vessel," he commanded, his voice echoing through the command deck of the alien ship. As the alien ships moved in, Elena felt the tension in the air. "Brace for impact!" she called out, gripping the controls tightly. The crew braced themselves as beams of energy shot toward them, striking the ship with powerful force. The flagship shook violently and alarms blared around them. "We're taking heavy damage," one of the crew members yelled, panic creeping into his voice. "Hold steady! We can do this!" Elena shouted, her heart pounding in her chest. She had faith in her crew and their training. They had come too far to give up now. In that moment of chaos, something extraordinary happened. A bright flash of light erupted from the damaged alien battleship. It had been struck by one of their own, and its systems began to fail. The humans watched in awe as the massive ship faltered, then exploded in a blinding display of color. "Keep pushing!" Elena urged her crew, feeling the rush of adrenaline as they seized the opportunity. With the alien battleship out of commission, the remaining enemy ships began to retreat, confusion and panic spreading among their ranks. The humans pressed forward, their spirits lifted by the sight of the alien forces falling back. "We're winning!" Jake shouted, a huge smile breaking across his face. "They're turning tail!" With the alien fleet in retreat, the humans cheered. They had faced overwhelming odds and emerged victorious. But Elena knew they could not let their guard down yet. The battle was won, but the war was far from over. As the last of the alien ships disappeared into the depths of space, the human fleet regrouped. Elena felt a mix of relief and exhaustion wash over her. They had saved Earth, but they had also lost so much in the process. "Status report!" she called, trying to focus on the task at hand. The crew quickly assessed the damage. "We've sustained significant injuries, but we're still operational," Jake replied. "We can hold our ground and start repairs." Elena nodded, grateful for their resilience. "Good. Let's get to work. We need to ensure the safety of our planet and prepare for any future threats." As the crew began repairs, Elena took a moment to reflect on everything they had been through. They had started as a small, underestimated group of humans, but now they were united as a powerful force. They had faced their fears, fought for their home, and proved their worth. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the citizens began to emerge from their shelters. News of the victory spread like wildfire. People gathered in the streets, celebrating their freedom and the bravery of their defenders. They cheered for the fleet that had saved them and for the humans who had stood up against the aliens. Elena and her crew watched the celebrations from their ships, a sense of pride swelling within them. They had not only defended their home, but also inspired hope in their people. This was a new beginning for humanity. As the sun set over the horizon, casting a warm glow over the planet, Elena felt a renewed sense of purpose. They had fought for their future, and now it was time to build it. The humans would not just survive, they would thrive. "Commander, what's next?" Jake asked, breaking her thoughts. Elena smiled, her heart full of determination. "We prepare for peace. We reach out to those who are willing to talk. We will not forget what happened today, but we will also not live in fear. This is our planet, and we will protect it." The crew cheered, ready to face whatever came next. They had transformed from a small fleet into a united force, standing tall against the challenges of the universe. With their victory over the aliens, they had forged a new path, a path of hope, strength, and resilience. As the stars twinkled above, Elena knew that this was just the beginning. Together, they would face the future with courage, ready to embrace whatever adventures awaited them in the vastness of space. The battle for Earth had marked the dawn of a new era, and humanity was ready to rise.